I'm gonna set up the audio first. There we go. Okay, there should be sound now. You're frozen, so I'm going to. Here's what I'm gonna do, Dad. All right, I'm going to shut this off, and I'm gonna start it up again. Sound good?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we're starting right now, actually. And if it doesn't work, that's fine. Dad, it was fine the way it was. Yeah, just kind of like do it like that. And do I have to like align you differently? Probably.
All right, I'm sitting on
There we go.
dog treats.
Yeah, just kind of sit there. And move your laptop a little back.
It's like if we put a dog treat, on the other side of the room, Norman would know where it's hidden.
Dad, push your laptop away from me a little bit. Because you're too close to the camera, so it's just the top of your head is like...
All right, I pushed it again.
Let me just adjust this real quick. Look, you get a great angle of my chin. No, tilt that down a little bit.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Brother.
So here we are with the PugCast. We got both of our pugs here. This is a new angle. See, we're up from the top. And we got
up
Mori.
Here, Normie?
Yeah, up there.
Sweet.
We got, let's just make sure. Yeah, we got Mori, and then the unholy one.
Mori, so patient and quiet.
Yeah.
And Norman, his alter ego.
Check this out. I control everything.
All right, we got to keep our eye on Norman so that he doesn't send anything crashing down. Can anybody hear Norman whimpering? That'll be our sound check. Norman whimper.
Yeah, our soundtrack is Norman crying.
Yeah. Well, that furry cultist sign is right over my face now.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to enlarge it for the pugs.
It's perfect, actually. So, all right. Are we on the air?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been on there. We're talking to the chat.
So what's the sound? What's the sign for?
Oh.
What?
Well, I asked Mike to put something on the sign, right? So he did. But this is relevant.
You realize you just gave his real name, so you've blown his cover in the first 5 seconds of the show.
Well, I'm just gonna give him a new name every time. You gotta realize that the only reason anyone would think his name is that.
Maury's looking at me like, "Get me out of here, dude."
But anyway, that sign's pertinent to the story I wanted to tell later. I told the story to a couple people in the Discord. Speaking of which, I'm just gonna go on my phone real quick and tell the people in the Discord that we're doing it. I told the story to a couple people in private. Let me figure this out.
Yeah, Norman has broken the 10-pound barrier for those who are asking. I think he's close to 15.
That's impressive.
Yeah, well, the vet doesn't think he'll get a whole lot bigger, so
the vet hasn't seen
he's not going to be bulking up like Maury. Maury's been working out, as we always say. Maury, you look a little, I don't know if you look uncomfortable or that's just the normal look. So, Norman, what are you looking for? What are you looking for?
Norman's looking for a way out.
He's looking for a way out. Okay. So answer the question. What are we waiting for as far as what the sign means?
Oh, I just thought we'd talk for a bit and then I'd bring it up. I just kind of like having it in the background.
Okay, well, we'll bring it up later. So you have a new job, Calvin.
Yeah,
why don't you tell everybody about your job?
I work at Safeway now. I am a checker. I scan things and put them in bags. It's not what I applied for or what I interviewed for. So I'm pretty sure they put me there by accident.
No, I'm pretty sure they put you there because they recognized you have some aptitude for memorizing codes.
No, okay, here's what I think.
Here's someone who's likely to crash our computer system. Let's put him on the cash register.
Fun thing. It definitely wasn't because they thought I was persuasive or charismatic, because I was anything but charismatic during the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into detail, but all you need to know is that they shouldn't have hired me. Yet they did.
And
Well, that's. I was trying to
Well,
figure out. If,
but how? I mean, honestly, did they give you any indication as to why they put you on the?
no, they never did.
Wow. Okay.
There was no indication I was going to be a checker. The training I did wasn't checking. First off, the training was just kind of like a general thing. There was bagging briefly. And then I show up training day, and lane 1 is open, and my boss is back there, and she tells me, "Hey, come on, this is what you're doing." And I look at her like she's crazy, or like that. I probably looked at her like she was crazy, and that's just kind of what I do for a job now. It's nice.
Right, so how many weeks? Isn't it like 3 weeks?
I think it's a little.
Or a month.
I think we're bordering on 4 weeks.
Okay. All right. So close to a month.
Yeah, close to a month.
Yeah. So do you like it?
So far, yeah, it's nice. I get to interact with people. I like the night shifts a lot because, night shifts are mainly either younger people who are very receptive to jokes I make, or they're old people who are like really hungover and don't want to talk at all.
Right.
And either way,
when you say older people, like give us an age range.
like 40 or above.
Oh, okay.
And
right.
Or homeless people who don't want to talk at all or like don't know how to talk. And that's great because then I don't have to interact with them really.
No.
So it's nice. Like no matter what, night shift's always kind of a win.
All right. Do your days go fast?
Yeah, they go pretty fast. I was there for 8.5 yesterday, and it felt like I was there for like an hour or two max.
Yeah. Well, whenever we go in, mom likes to visit Calvin while he's working, so she'll invent reasons to go into Safeway.
Yeah, I've only actually seen
and
Mom
buy
in my
something
lane
and
like
pick-
twice though.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of amazing.
Yeah, most of the time when she goes out and goes grocery shopping, she just goes to Winco.
Yeah.
She never actually visits. You visited more than she has actually.
Well, that's because it's closer.
Yeah, it's more convenient for you.
Yeah.
Norman keeps brushing up against my mic. This is a touchscreen computer, Norman. I can't have you sniffing back here.
Are we getting Norman on the screen? Yeah, he's on the screen.
Yeah, Norman's
Okay.
sort of on the screen. Go be with your brother. Go. Sit.
All right, I should look at the some of the questions here.
Someone asked what job did I want. I applied for like night crew stocking.
That's stocking shelves, not
Yeah.
stalking. It's not night crew stalking. It's night crew stocking. Correct. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Based on the behavior of the night crew I've been around, it's probably both.
Yeah.
Has anyone acknowledged the sign? I don't think anyone in the chat cares.
Okay, Adam asked a question about the dog scene in the facade. No, these varmints were not my muse. The book is older than that. But I don't think they could have inflicted enough damage. They might have just worn me down, though, with whimpering and crying.
We have 46 people.
Yeah, AKC hour, really. Oh, let's see. Mori has table muscle. I'm not sure what that means. Is that some anybody?
What's
is there a
table
hidden
muscle? Do you know what table
meaning in
muscle
that?
is? What are you listening to? You've got your AirPods in. Oh, you're listening to that must be really awkward because it's like all delayed.
Let's see.
Is it delayed?
Ashby says my first job was a cashier, but we had to count back change and do the tax time. Yeah, times have changed really.
Yeah, now the most complicated thing I have to do is like a rain check every.
All right, I
like
got to go
2
back to the
weeks.
top here just to see here. Oh, this is technical difficulties.
Yeah,
turf.
but this is all
Yeah.
old.
Yep, I'm just going back through here. Let's see. Can you tell us how you got the material for the facade and the portent? This is Abigail. Well, research. Honestly, what I tend to do and what I'm doing for the third one, what I did for the third one, most of it's pretty much all in place, and the third one is, started. But what I typically do is I make a list, like a spreadsheet or a flow chart online of the topics that's somewhere in the story that I want to get into. And then it's just a question of doing the research for that. Again, I do I don't do internet research. I do like real research. So I have lots of scholarly articles on all sorts of things. And I just, pull from that. And then once I have the research in line, I read through that stuff. I'll pick out interesting data points that I think readers would find kind of interesting or cool. And then the only issue is how do you weave them into the story? How do you connect them or not connect them and all that sort of thing. So that's the part that's, fictional. So that's why. Oh no, wait. He's. Don't give him that. Don't give him that. We want to torment him a little bit later with that. But after that, it's just a point of you know, sort of just figuring out, you know, how to tell a story with all that stuff, how to connect everything. But that's essentially what I do. Everyone should serve some time in retail. It's a character building experience. That's true.
Yeah, but like the
Your
people
your
I
mom
have
and
in
I worked at a
retail
deli.
are perfectly normal people. It's just like sweet old ladies from Linden, and there's
Well.
nothing even remotely bad about it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you can say that a month into it. So you're probably going to get some jerks at some point, you know. But the customer's always right, or so they say anyway. Oh, let's see here. Okay, my voice or audio portion is coming in really loud in my left channel. Calvin, can you translate that for me?
It means that if
Should
someone's
I
listening with earbuds, it's coming in louder through the
All right.
left. Hey, Micah, since you're using AirPods, the left one, is it louder?
Abigail says
Were
the
they,
woman
like,
puking
even?
at the photo of the bad guy is a great scene. Okay, that's in the portent.
Okay, well, this is more important. Okay, so
All right, but I will. I'll come back to that,
okay,
so
this
you
is
know
more
where I
important.
got
This is
that.
more important.
Okay.
You are only coming in through the left ear, and I'm only coming in through the right ear.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need like a hug, Norman? What do you
Is
need?
that and what
No, no.
what mic is Norman coming through?
Probably all of them.
Well, that's what matters, isn't it? Come here, Norman.
Can I fix that? How do I fix that?
Come here, buddy.
Is there like a setting on the Scarlett for that?
Come here, buddy. Yeah, you're just a little too nervous. Yeah, this is like driving in the car with Norman. This is what he's like. He's got to take a position on your lap, and then he'll go to sleep.
I have no idea, because when I use these mics on the because me and Micah recorded like a podcast for fun, right? And
Yeah.
and I had like the small thing. That wasn't it for that. Is there like a switch here I can flick?
You're asking the wrong person about anything technical here.
I think you hired the wrong person for anything technical.
Perhaps I did.
But then again, you don't really pay me.
Let me go back to the. Yes, I do pay you.
Not
Then
often.
I'm going to go back to the woman puking at the photo of the bad guy in that scene in the portent. That.
Women puking.
Yeah, it's a scene in my second novel. That comes from real life. I'm trying to think about how I can articulate this.
Who did you meet who puked?
Well, it's not that I met them. It's just, okay, when I was a grad student, the facade was already out, and I got a call from a friend who was a chaplain at, a couple hospitals or whatever. And he had a friend in another town in Wisconsin, and he wanted me to go visit him. So I did. I drove over to this place, and we all met together. And this guy was a practicing psychologist, and he wanted to discuss not patients, because of patient-doctor, confidentiality, but without, revealing identity or anything like that. He let us know that he had some people. Again, if you've seen the movie Split, this will be a little bit familiar. Go ahead, Calvin.
I just pressed a thing, and I think it might fix it.
Okay.
So, chat, tell me if it gets better later.
Yeah, tell us if the audio gets better.
Let me make sure it's saved.
So he had a particular person, patient, who had been programmed, governmentally was the term they used, and he said that this woman showed up at his office and had this crazy story about this, which he, was inclined to, maybe not believe. But then he began getting contacted by someone in a government institution, organization, who had pictures of this woman. So he sort of knew that was legit. And this guy was claiming to have programmed this woman. And when the doctor would show her pictures of some of the Nazi scientists, from World War II era, she would vomit just on the spot. So that's where I got that scene. So I think that's probably the best way to cover it. So that's actually not something I ran across, but I met at least one of the principals involved in that. So So anyway, on that high note, but again, this is why I describe my novels the way I do. Everything in the book is real, but the way I connect the dots is not. That's the story. So Adam says, sounds good on the speakers. All right. Might be annoying on the cams.
Okay, Mike, is the audio better?
I'm going to move this a little closer. So
Oh, like instantly?
we're getting some thumbs up. Somebody said I need a megaphone, so I guess that means I need to be louder, so I've moved it closer to me.
We give our nervous golden retriever CBD oil.
And for some reason, is the pug cam blurry because it's blurry where I'm looking at it?
Well, it's probably like 480p for most people.
Oh, okay, because it was sharper a little while ago. So let's see here. All right, apparently it fixed it. So, Ashby asked, what are my thoughts about the Noahide laws? We actually just filmed a Fringe Pop episode on this. The last trip, which was now, 2-3 weeks ago, we were in Dallas.
That's right, you were there. Was Steve Bancar's there again?
Yeah, Steve was there. Steve was there, and we interviewed him again.
Wait, hon. Quick,
the short version. Go ahead.
Can I quickly interject something? Steve was going to do an online debate with Vegan Gaines. Do you know who Vegan Gaines is? Mm-hmm. Micah, do you know who Vegan Gaines is? Oh, well, he's like a vegan YouTuber, right? Who's like an actual insane person. But he told me that he was going to name drop Mori in the debate, and I'm wondering if anyone saw that.
2 people have said the pug cam is blurry, so maybe we need to adjust something there. But go back to Vegan Gaines.
But yeah, he was going to debate Vegan Gaines on why being a vegan isn't necessarily the best thing, and I told him I'd give him like $20 if he could name drop Mori without, like, I think it was like if he could name drop Mori a certain amount of times or something, I'd give him $20. And I want to know if he ever actually ended up doing that debate.
I don't know.
So now I need to watch it. I need to figure out if I need to give him a 20.
Yeah, back to the Noahide laws. There's no scriptural evidence that God gave Noah laws, okay? You can find the Noahide laws in the Torah, but they're not in the Noah story. So it's somewhat contrived. It's also, that's probably the easiest way to put it. But basically, the Maimonides is the one who has a lot to say on this, and it's a way for Gentiles to work their way to heaven. So, that's not biblical theology to begin with. So I don't think a whole lot of the Noahide law idea. I don't know why we would need it unless we're, practicing Judaism where we have to, keep the law to be saved, which is quite contrary again to New Testament. I would say it's also contrary to the Old Testament, but that's a summary. Anyway, we just did an episode on that, so I don't know when it'll come out, but I don't make those decisions. So you want to hit Norman's toy? Well, no, I don't mean like we got to wind it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, Norman has a new toy, so
How are we going to get it on camera though?
We want to we'll
Okay. I know what to do.
Well, we should probably adjust this anyway since it's blurry. Oh, okay. You could do that. Yeah.
Now we're working. Oh, I've broken the immersion. I can't put you on. Are you in it? I don't think you're in it.
Point it this way.
Yeah.
Okay, is it wound up?
Wind this up.
All right. We want to see what Norman's reaction is.
Do it. It's committed suicide.
Earlier today, he was just flipping out over this thing. And now it's like it's not even phasing him.
Yeah.
He was just barking up a storm. Okay, thanks for being so lame on camera, Mori.
You mean Norman?
Or Norman, yeah. Oh, wow.
Can we get 2 cameras on Mori? I think we can.
Mori just didn't care about it. Like, Mori doesn't really care about anything, but...
Here's a gift to you, PugCast.
Norman just went berserk.
Look at it.
Okay, you're sticking it in his ear, so...
Yeah, that's the plan.
Oh, great, Norman. I guess you don't get your treat, so,
You don't get your rations this week.
You don't get your rations. Here, I'll give him some. Oh, now he's staring at it. Look, it's a stare down. He's staring down the chick. Here. Wow, he won't even take. Oh no! Now he recovered. I had a little cookie in my hand.
I feel like you're more amused by it than he is.
It was funny to watch him just sort of go berserk. He was really like after it.
I like how I switched cameras because the old camera made me look like a ghost, and now on this camera I'm just a ghost anyway.
You know, you always comment about the way you look. Like
I don't like
cameras,
how it makes me look like it looks like I'm not in color. You know?
Okay. Well, maybe it's the lighting. It's got to be the lighting.
But there's the same lighting on both of us. Like if I go over there, I'll look fine.
Well, I can't offer any explanation. So, somebody asked if Logos allows us to bring the pugs to work. I don't know that there's a policy against doing it. I actually could because my office is isolated in the basement. So yeah, I could. I mean, we've brought him in for filming for that Angels commercial that we did. But I don't think we've taken Norman into the building, and that you can probably figure out why. But I could do it. Oh, let's see here. Let's see here.
I was involved in a cult.
Okay, now we're back to the furry cultists. Okay, we finally. Good grief! It's like half the show's over.
Yeah.
In here.
So, on this sign, we have written, it's the date, and then it's the title, Furry Cultist. And
so, what's the point?
Okay, so I was involved in a cult, an online cult, right? So, just some background. Do you know what a furry is?
I don't know what a furry. I don't know anything about this. So.
Okay. You know, like, have you met an insane person?
I'm trying to figure out how to answer that question.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, put it on chat.
I think I can honestly say yes.
Right, chat. Tell Dad what a furry is. No, a furry is basically like, it's someone online, typically online, right? And they're like they're a fan of, like, I guess, anthropomorphic animals, right?
Okay.
You know, like the old Robin Hood cartoon, right? So it's like they're fans of that, but like dialed up to 1,000. It's weird to describe because it sounds like the ramblings of an insane person.
So this interest in anthropomorphized cartoon animals unites this group.
Yeah.
Are you making this up?
No, I'm not making this up. But basically, I was playing Team Fortress 2, right, which is a game.
Okay.
And one of my teammates was a pretty neat person because we're talking on voice. This is maybe like when I was maybe 15, 14, I don't know, something like that.
Oh, so this is quite a while ago.
Yeah, this is quite a while ago. I kept this as a secret for a very long time.
Yeah.
But I talked to this person, right, and he's like, hey, I got a group on Skype where some of our other friends play TF2 as well. Do you want to join the Skype group? Mm-hmm. So I said, yeah, sure. So I joined there, and I'm the only person there without like a furry profile picture.
Okay.
So that's the first red flag.
It's the first clue.
Yeah. And the guy who brought me in, he wasn't like the leader of the group. He was just like one of the members of the group. And things were, other than the furry picture thing, things were kind of normal for a while.
For about 10 minutes?
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
Yeah, for a while. Because like if you're on the internet for any amount of time, you will bump into these people. You probably have a lot of furries in your audience. There's probably like 5 watching right now. It's an alarmingly high number, right?
Just 2 or 3 is an alarmingly high number.
But basically, what's the word? We were playing TF2 for a bit, and there's the leader of this group, right? Is this their profile picture is like a lynx or something, right?
Yeah.
And they're a woman,
Okay.
but they're never in the voice chat, right? But they're like the leader of the group. So one day I'm in like the Skype voice chat, right? Mm-hmm. And nobody else knows I'm there. I've just kind of like flown under the radar, and I hear someone mention something about the other universe or like an alternate universe or something like that. And then I'm like, hey guys, I'm still here. And then they all leave except for the guy who brought me in. And the guy who brought me in tells me something to the effect of, this isn't a road you want to go down. So I'm like,
Okay, this isn't going to end with the flat Earth, is it?
no, it's not gonna end with the flat Earth.
Thank you.
Micah,
Thank
you've
you.
heard the story before, right? This is a real story, not a
Okay.
phase. See, he's nodded, and now everyone has to believe him. But basically, I go approach the leader, who they went by Neffy, was it? Yeah, Neffy. And I'm like, hey, so I was in the voice chat, and I heard some bizarre stuff about, like, you and, like, another universe, like, what gives? And Neffy says to me, oh, well, basically, I am a deity, and I'm from a different realm, and this chat of mine is a collection of, like, my followers and people I teach that I've met across the years. And I don't remember what I said next. All I know is that the conversation ended with, can I join your cult? And then she said yes. So I changed my profile picture to a furry, and it's like, great, I'm in the cult now. This is pretty neat.
Yeah.
And we don't do much for a while. We're just, like, playing TF2 for a bit. But I wanted to kind of...
I wonder what the deity would do when mom and dad shut off the internet.
I don't know. Okay. That's important later, sort of. Like, their identity is kind of important, right? So I start to kind of, like... I want to talk to Neffy a lot. And I want to just figure out what it is, like, their so-called realm is like. So I've decided that I'm a botanist.
Okay.
So
you're building your profile.
Yeah, I'm building my profile. And I've decided that I'm very into plants. And there's a reason that I'm very into plants. It's because I want to trap Neffy, right? So here's what I'm doing. Whenever we're online, I'll have a conversation. I'll shift to something along the lines of, so, like, what's, like, technology in your area, like, you know, your realm? And you 9 times out of 10, you get, like, a cop-out response that's something along the lines of, well, it's nothing like you can imagine. So I would say, well, help me imagine it. And that's when the conversation usually ends, right? But one thing I did a lot was I talked about flowers, specifically blue daffodils. And there's a reason for this. Yeah. Because
okay, go ahead.
My goal was to be annoying with it. Because I want to program Neffy to have a negative response when I bring it up. And here's the reason. Neffy's never been in voice chat, so I can't verify their identity. Yeah. And there's 4 or 5 other accounts that I talk to regularly that have also never been in the voice chat. And I think, in my mind, Neffy's crazy enough to also be controlling some of these accounts. Okay. So I want to come up with, like, a trigger word for Neffy, right?
So this you're setting up a sting operation.
Yeah. I'm setting up a sting. So I'm conditioning Neffy to react negatively to the thing. But to make sure it's not completely obvious I'm doing it, I'm only doing it occasionally.
You should have gotten, like, some kind of college credit for this.
Yeah. But then, I don't remember what happened, but I know that we had, like, a fight of some kind. Because I'm on a different computer now, so I can't see the chat logs, right? All of this is gone. Right. This is gone from the internet, more or less. But me and Neffy have some kind of, like a fight or an argument, and then I log off for the night, right? I come back on, and Neffy's account's gone, right? And I have a message from the guy who brought me in. And this was maybe, like, half a year into this. I was in this cult for, like, a year and a half, right? And I was just playing along for that time. And he said to me, it's come to my attention from a mutual friend that Neffy is no longer with us. They've taken their own life. And I was a little taken aback, right? So I didn't really do much for a day.
So now you're wondering if they're playing you.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're playing me, right? But then, because they're not that bright. This is the part where they're furries is important for the mystery, right? Okay. I mentioned that Neffy, her persona, whatever, right, was like a lynx, right? And then lynx girl, gone. Day goes by. Another lynx joins, and they're also a girl. And it's like an account that was also a mutual friend of, like, these accounts that have never spoken in the voice chat, right? So I decide that this is most definitely the same person. And, like, if everyone else was sort of in on it, I probably wouldn't have cared as much. But even if these people are probably nuts, I did spend a lot of time playing games with them. And if they were being manipulated by someone, because a lot of them seemed very genuinely upset over this, I wanted to put an end to it. So I begin to build a relationship with this new Lynx person. I didn't bring up the flowers thing. I was trying to be more tame and a little more suave about it. But I have, like, at the time of the actual sting that I did was maybe a year after I joined. So I've got a year of conversations with all of these accounts who I suspect are all the same person. And so I have to picture this. I'm up in my room. It's probably 3 a.m, and I should be, like, studying or something, right?
Of
But
course.
but I've got like rows and rows.
This
of
explains
chats.
a lot,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. I've got rows and rows of chats, right? And they're all from the different accounts I think are Nephi. And I noticed that there are some very particular, like, weird grammatical things that they all have in common.
This is
that
like
none of the other chats.
This
have.
is like cryptography.
Yeah.
This
So,
is authorship attribution, stylometric analysis,
Yeah.
to be more specific. Go ahead.
But one of the things I think this was what it is. I can't check, but it was something like this specific. Like when they would use the word his, they would never capitalize it, and they'd always put a period after it, even if it was in the middle of a sentence that wasn't finished, right? So, and I looked through all the other chats with people I suspect were Nephi, and some of them also have this characteristic. So with those accounts, I would bring up the flowers with them, and they'd immediately get upset because I've programmed Nephi to hate flowers, to hate blue daffodils specifically. So now I have this big backlog of conversations, right? And I have like this trigger word that the people I suspect are all the same are reacting negatively to, right? And that includes this new person that was brought in. So one day, by the way, the cult's like 20 people
This
large.
is probably going to show up in my next novel, Calvin. But go ahead.
All right, but I decided to take all the things I've gathered, and I put them in a folder, and then I put that folder in the Skype group for everyone to see, and then I log off for the night, and I come back, and I'm no longer in the group at this time. But I was sent screenshots, and a new group was made. But I was sent screenshots, and apparently, just like the cult sort of collapsed overnight. Because most people realized what was happening, and everyone was like, these people.
Yeah.
But some people were defending them. So now you have half of this cult who has remained loyal to Nephi.
Or maybe it's just one person defending him or herself.
No, well, I mean, like, I've talked to a lot of these people on Voice, so I know that some of these people are different.
Okay.
But I learned from the guy who brought me in later that Nephi isn't a girl. Nephi's a guy. And Nephi, this is what Nephi is. Nephi is a I believe they said a 12-year-old girl stuck in the body of a 33-year-old man. In other words, they're insane, right? Yeah. So there's that dealt with. But the group falls apart, and there's two halves now, and half of them stuck with Nephi and followed their teachings, and the other half went to a new group with their new leader, who was me. I stole half of this person's religion, and it became mine.
Please tell me you unplugged.
The group kind of died out eventually. Yeah. We just kind of like played video games.
So you're a failed cult leader. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. The other one down with me.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
What we need now is a video shot of Norman, because you've done something really significant with that story.
What have I done?
You've put Norman to sleep. He's actually snoring.
Hey, that's pretty neat. But anyway, that's that's the time I was in a cult for a year and a half.
Like I said, that explains a lot, Calvin. So thanks for that. Let me go back here and see what has transpired. Calvin is a furry. Is that, I don't know if that's like real something or other. But a furry is an anthropomorphized cartoon animal.
Basically.
So I learned that today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Learn something new every day. Sometimes you learn what a furry is. Sometimes you learn your son was in a cult for a year and a half.
Yeah. Vincent asked, "How's my fantasy baseball team doing?" About as well as the Red Sox are doing. In other words, they're awful. I haven't checked scores today though, so.
Oh yeah, I didn't tell.
But I'm not in last place anymore. I'm in 10th out of 12, so we're climbing. Let's see here.
I will say though, I have a series of burner accounts and backup accounts on Skype and like furry websites, right? Because I'm still periodically, every couple months, I'll scour the internet for traces of this cult, and what I want to do is I want to join them again and just keep messing with them. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like my passion project, shall we say, to rejoin the cult.
Did you see what Mom put in here about your hair?
Yeah, Buddy Holly. She says that every time.
All right. Okay.
Literally every time.
Just want to make sure.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing, but I've seen it.
Oh, let's see here. Peter says that I'm screen right, audio left, Calvin coming out of both. Is this a new special approach?
How come you're only coming from one?
I don't know, but this is Peter that
Micah,
that
get back
we
into
know,
the chat.
so.
Tell me if this is true. And which Peter? Is it Peter Rest or a different Peter?
It's Peter that you're doing the audio files for.
So yes. Okay.
So he wants to know if it's a new special approach.
No.
This is your new special approach right here.
Watch out, Hollywood.
Right. Okay, Norma, you're not going anywhere. You're not going to fall, buddy.
Do you like
hello?
how I have Mori
Susan,
green
hello. Yeah. Let's see here. Some are comparing your hair to Giorgio, though, on Ancient Aliens, and they're wondering if you're getting abducted. So.
My name's Giorgio Armani.
Yeah, right. Oh, let's see here. Man, Norman is just like, he didn't have a nap this afternoon, so we were kind of expecting him to doze off, but he's like,
stay strong,
half
Norman.
snore, and I can feel him like sagging here in my arm.
He fell asleep during the furry cult story.
Yeah, well, more
because he if he was conscious, he would have.
Do we have a good shot of Mori? Because this is a classic Mori pose right here.
I feel like, yeah, Mori's just kind of in the chat.
Mori is a living still photograph.
Mori is modern art personified.
Yeah, he's modern art. Let's see here. Yep, Norman is big. He's up. I think he's around 15 pounds. The vet says he's not going to get a whole lot bigger, so. Let's see here. All right. Mayor Pete. I think Mayor Pete's going to fizzle. Let's see here.
Oh, Brandon Taylor.
Okay.
I see what you said. Okay, I'm going to read what he said.
All right.
Calvin, I had a friend who was a furry and joined a cult of a person who castrated themselves, lived as a trans, takes DMT, and believes they channel gods into themselves. They believe in a multiverse.
Well, it sounds like...
Brandon. No. I'm not kidding.
All
Brandon, DM me. Join the Sentinel Apologetics or whatever it's called Discord group. I want you to set me up with this person. I'm not kidding.
Look, you just want to implode the
yes.
whole... Well...
Okay, for everything you just said was accurate.
No, I believe you. I believe you.
Does Mike think drug-induced experiences are merely hallucinations, or do people see entities?
If it's happening in your head, by definition, it's a hallucinatory experience.
I mean, only one way to know for sure.
You got a few inches, right here. Just...
When I look at Mori, I'm always thinking that, like, he's on something. Like, it's naturally produced in his head, and this is the reason why. I don't think Mori is seeing what we're seeing, because Mori's behavior doesn't line up with the creature who's seeing what we're seeing. Right now, he's asleep, right? But when he's awake...
he wants you to think he's asleep.
Yeah, he's hiding from the Martians that he sees around him.
No, he is recording everything. His mind is a steel trap.
Mori's mind is a cassette tape.
See, I can see.
Mori's mind has the processing power of half a cassette tape. He's firing on all cylinders.
Mori never sleeps, really.
Because
it has to be the case because he sleeps constantly. He can't be like really asleep the whole time.
Yeah, but Brandon, are you in? No, that's not who they were, Brandon. Brandon, are you in the Discord that I mentioned? Because if you are,
he's typing something here.
My profile picture is. You probably wouldn't get the reference. Never mind. It wouldn't be worth explaining. But my name in the Discord is Calvin, I think. I want you to DM me.
Calvin, I think. It's kind of long. Why don't you just shorten it to Calvin? Get it?
How many years did it take you to come up with that one? That wasn't a dad joke. That was like a...
That's beneath a dad joke. It doesn't even rise to the level of a dad joke.
That's like... Okay, the problem is that I've got a really dark sense of humor, right? So jokes I want to make, I know for a fact I probably shouldn't make on this cast.
Yes.
All you need to know about the joke is I was gonna say something like
Come here.
the PG version of it is that was less horrifying than the Louis C.K. aftermath is what I was going to say, but that's all I need.
Norman is kind of like half on
Norman's transmitting information.
He's kind of
to
half
you.
conscious now.
That's why Norman's licking. He's trying to get us to understand.
He's slowing down. You're waiting for Mommy to come in and rescue you, aren't you? Your favorite person in the world. Oh, let's see here. Okay.
Mori is playing
Puggy Possum. Yeah, that is an excellent way to put it. That is an excellent way to put it. He does it all the time.
10 points to him. You've earned 10
right.
chat
Maury's
points.
ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. I mean, he's just so far above us.
Maury's controlling the satellites right now.
He's maintaining the satellites right now as we speak.
So okay, this is like the third time I've seen it, so I'm just gonna ask you this so I don't have to see it again.
I hear a door opening.
Jamie
I'll come get him.
It's Mommy.
Question: what's your take on Daniel 12:4?
I'd have to look it up.
There's your answer.
I don't have the Bible memorized, believe it or not.
Anyway, next question.
Hi, buddy.
There you go.
All right, let's go.
He's ready for a nap or something.
Come on, baby, let's go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't have well, maybe I do have my thing open here. Let me just see here. Who knows what I've got open here?
We have we should get a guest here.
Oh, let's see here.
Oh, Maury's conscious. He's conscious. Hey, can I put you on camera? Are you allowed to be on camera? Okay.
Yeah, I would need a little more direction on what's being specifically asked in that question.
Mike is actually banned from appearing on any cameras.
Why is that?
He's not
So that's
allowed
the
to
third
be
time you've used his name now, so much for alternating names.
I gave up on our Eduardo because you ruined it.
All right, well, just telling you. Yeah.
Do you want me to start calling him Eduardo again? Eduardo's not allowed to be on
You
camera.
could. It might fool somebody. Oh.
I just want to find another fun thing to make fun
Did
of.
I-
But Gary Wayne and Flat Earth are kind of
Okay.
dead
Look,
memes.
yeah,
We
I know
need to
you're
find a new one.
just wearing that out.
Do you want to talk about Hollow Earth?
No.
Can Hollow Earth be the new thing?
That's it's not quite as bad as Flat Earth, but it's
Can we
almost
talk
as
about
bad.
anti-vax?
Oh boy. We have friends who are
All right, wait, one
anti-vaxxers,
sec.
so we don't.
Tetrahede and IX. This is something I know about. Tetrahede and IX says everything in our world is cult-oriented with our money, movies, and video games. What's the obsession of vampires and zombies in our culture? Here's the answer: because they're an easy villain. Period.
They're
There you go.
a cheap source of entertainment,
Bam.
is what you're
There you
saying.
go.
Yeah. Oh, let's see
I think
here.
it's really messed up, but there are so many games that
All right,
have you glorify zombies by killing them. What? Just
well, I guess they're an easy target, but they keep coming back though.
it's
Gonzo
it's
Justice
dumb fact
911
more than anything.
asks, "When am I coming to Southern California?" The answer to that is in November. The academic meetings that I go to every year, where we record interviews with scholars, that are at the academic meetings, as we've done the last 4 years. This November, they're in San Diego. So that is the next time I will be in Southern California. And that's pretty much all I know. So at some point during that week, we always have a Naked Bible get together. People who listen to the podcast. Trey will throw out a time and a place, and people will come over and we'll take questions and chit chat. So I'm sure that'll happen again.
Sitting up.
No, he's not sitting up. You're holding him up.
He's awoken.
Look at that face, man. So yeah, that'll be November. It's always the week before Thanksgiving. So at some point in that week, we'll do some kind of get together for the podcast. But I'm not speaking or anything like that. So
Yeah, Brennan, my picture is a Ralsei from Deltarune, but he's holding an AK. That's my picture. It's pretty good.
Oh, let's see here. Dogman be a neat, corny subject. Translation, Calvin.
Huh? What? Let me see.
Dogman be a neat, neat thing to discuss.
Was it Dogman or Dog Meat?
No, it's dog. It was Dogman, but he took it off now. So
Yeah,
message
message
retracted.
retracted.
So I don't
Oh,
have
great.
any
It's
idea
Han
what that
Solo.
was. Mean.
Han Solo is legitimately my favorite person.
Yes.
Mainly because he modded that GameCube game.
Oh yes, we've been
Han
in
Solo
touch.
should be our first guest. I've decreed it and it's happening now. The next time we have a guest, it has to be Han Solo. Congrats. That one's a freebie.
Yeah, I mean we could do that. I don't know how to do it, but I guess you know how to do it.
Our assistant has returned.
So any news on the Judd Burton conference? Not other than the fact that I'm going to be there, but I don't know. But I haven't checked for probably a week and a half.
Oh my gosh, the chat just nothing but vaccines.
I don't know if Judd has created the web page for this year's event yet. So you could look, but I'll probably look tonight now that you've jarred my memory of it. But when I looked a couple weeks ago, it wasn't there. I texted him, and he was still working on it. So I don't really know anything beyond that. I could tell you the dates, but I think you already know those because he sent something out. I know he put something out about that, but I don't think it has its own web page yet. Oh, let's see here. Okay. What else do we want to talk about, Calvin?
Well, right now the chat's talking about vaccines. I do kind of enjoy the vaccine conversation.
Come on.
Just because it's just so absurd to me.
Come on. There.
Huh?
Eat that pepperoni. Don't just fall in love with it.
Yeah, but you're not like it's not like hardcore anti-vaccine. It's like, oh, space them out because of the mercury or whatever, right? Like, this is my official stance. Even if vaccines caused autism, which they don't, I'd rather have an autistic kid than a dead kid with polio. So there you go.
You mean with either a dead kid that has either polio or, well, anyway, if he was dead, the polio wouldn't matter. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't be my kid anymore.
Right.
No longer a mouth to feed. +1.
Let's see here. Did you just let him in again?
Yeah, Norman's back in.
All right.
Can we put
He's
Norman on
back.
the table?
Well, he's on the floor, so
Really
he's
He wants to see Micah and see what he's all
Yeah,
about.
Micah is
well,
Norman's favorite.
let him investigate.
Well, he just
There you go, Maury.
knows that.
Maury's loyalty's getting rewarded here with a pepperoni.
Hey guys, remember that scene from Jurassic Park where the raptor comes out?
Yep, that's pretty much it.
He's on my head. Why are you doing this, Norman?
Let's see.
Okay.
All right, but don't let him fall.
I'm not gonna let him fall.
I
He's
know,
gonna
but
sink his claws into me and support himself.
He doesn't really have much in the way of claws.
I would beg to differ.
He's
Norman,
got
it's fine. It's fine.
he's got that
Norman, it's
wild-eyed look on
It's okay,
his face.
Norman. It's okay. You're safe. Just calm. Just be calm. Be a good boy. Be a good boy.
Yeah, since somebody asked about the San Diego thing, I'm sitting here trying to think. I mean, there are conversations going about traveling. I'm trying to think here. When is the next boy? But I'm going to be in Florida again in July, but I don't know if that's just for pastors or not.
Okay, the stream dipped for a bit,
Yeah,
but we seem to be in a better. We went from 2,000 kilobytes a second to 10, and now we're back up to 2K.
The best way to find out where I'm going to be and when is to subscribe to my newsletter. So if you went up to drmsh.com, on the right-hand side, there's something about the newsletter. You click on those words, and it will take you to a place where you give me your email address, and then you'll get the issues of the newsletter. It's free. Doesn't cost anything, but in there I have a little bit more information than I put on my website. It only goes on the website if it's a confirmed event, but sometimes I'll tell people in the newsletter, kind of like what's being discussed, that sort of thing. What point of doctrine would I like to get rid of? Boy, well, that depends on what people call doctrine. There are some things that people would use that word for it, and others that wouldn't. So, I don't know. Give me a checklist or something like that. If it's mainstream historical doctrine, the answer is none. But like I said, some people put things in the doctrine bucket that are just a little. They should be peripheral, but they're treated like they're not peripheral. I tend to prefer minimalist doctrinal statements for that reason, that you shouldn't be putting things in a doctrinal statement that are entirely driven by hermeneutics. And the key word there is entirely driven by hermeneutics. So that's really being unfair. It's like telling lots of people either in your congregation or who might want to be in your congregation that you don't have permission to think. So that's why I prefer minimalist doctrinal statements.
He perking up.
Yeah, he is perking up, but he's not on camera when he stands there. Let's see here. I think I finally scrolled to the end here.
You don't want to come here?
Dad, have I shown you the video of that
And he
guy?
wants you. Yeah, he wants you.
Dad,
Well,
Dad.
there he goes.
Have you seen?
Okay, in about 30 seconds, the whole thing's going to collapse here because Mom wants Norman to come to her. So something's going to come crashing down here, I suspect.
How are you?
Look, Mom's right next to me. She's out of frame.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay out
Mom,
of frame.
You can-
Mom, elbow reveal.
See, there you go. That's the
There
way
we
to
go.
threaten
Elbow
Mom.
reveal.
Just threaten to put her in frame and see how that goes. Okay. Yeah, just
Did I show you the
he's a
video?
little
of,
antsy.
Dad, on the internet they call it Cuck Norris. Have you seen this?
No, I don't want to
It's-
hear about
no,
it.
it's the guy who tried to spin kick that woman's phone out of her hand. Did you see that?
I hope he's in court.
He probably is.
Yeah,
Basically,
that's the only thing I have to
can I
say
tell the
about it.
story? I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Well, I
Oh.
think people know what happened. That
Okay, basically, there was this pro-life rally, right? And it was a bunch of mostly women there, right? And this guy comes up who is like on the extreme other end of
Yeah,
it, right? He's
and
like,
and he didn't he
he's-
try to imitate like a Chuck Norris
sort of
kick or something like
He's-
that.
He's like anti-pro-life.
Yeah.
And he comes in and he has like an argument with one of the women there who's filming him, right? And they start having an argument and he gets fed up with it, right? So she's filming him, right? And then he's in front of her and she starts talking about some pro-life stuff. I don't remember what exactly it was. And he jumps in the air, rotates like this, and he's got like his tongue sticking out like he's insanely focused, and he unwinds and his kick doesn't even come close to the phone. He just like kicks her in the knee or something. But
Well, doesn't he break her camera or something?
no, I think she dropped her camera because of it. But like, it's one of the funniest videos I've ever seen.
So now he's become a meme. Is that
He was briefly a meme.
he's
No
becoming
longer a meme.
endlessly mocked?
This is kind of an old
Which
thing.
he would deserve. Okay.
Cuck Norris is a great clip. I'll just send it to you. I'll link
Let's
it
see
in the Discord.
here. Can you do an episode on the podcast about BHI, misuse of divine? What's BHI? I'd have to know what BHI is. Misuse of divine name passage. Just let me know what BHI is, and then I can answer the question, or try to answer the question anyway. Oh, let's see here. There, these questions about DMT in here. We did a whole episode on paranormal on entheogens. These are these drugs that produce quote unquote, religious experiences. So I'd recommend you listen to that and read some of the material that we read for the episode. I can't remember what episode number it is, but we've only done 20 or 19 episodes of that, so it won't be hard to find. So just go to the paranormal.com site, and you can listen to that episode there. Let's see here.
Hey, Dad, can I borrow your camera for a sec?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just keep talking. It'll be fine.
Well, I'm just one of these times we need to put like a GoPro on Mori. Well, not on Mori because he'd just sit there. But
on Norman.
It'd be like a still camera. Put it on Norman, yeah.
Do you like this, Mori? Are you a fan of this? You show us snout. Dang, look at that snout.
Mori's
Dang,
doing
look at that profile.
He's doing an equation in his head on how to make a better
profile.
video camera.
He looks like the side of a cliff.
Mori, hey buddy. Here, dude. You want one of these? Try one of these.
Action shot.
Try the dry
the dog.
one. I'm gonna put it right there. See if you can resist it.
Let's see how long it takes for him to eat.
I'm out of pepperoni. Yeah, I don't think he'll eat it. It's an empty bag. So I don't know if that would get him or not.
You have to get him to take it out.
Oh wait. Oh, look at that. I got a piece of pepperoni here. Look at that. I did have one down in the stash.
Is he gonna get it?
I don't know.
Is he gonna go for it?
I don't know what he'll do with it.
Oh yeah, that's what he's focused on.
He's assessing the nutritional content of it. There. How's that? Put it up there a little bit.
All of his calories.
Yeah. Look at it. Mori, this is normal. Mori inspects his food. He's got to sniff it and lick it occasionally, and then he'll decide to eat it.
What's he doing? Is he trying to bury it?
No, it's just he's looking for it. Whereas Norman will just dive in and just it doesn't matter what it is. If you're holding it and it's near his mouth, it's going to get eaten. So Mori is much more particular. So this is not unusual behavior. Black Hebrew Israelites.
Is that the termite guy?
That's BHI.
Is that the termite guy?
That's just not going to pertain to the Exodus. That's not naked Bible material. That's fringe pop material. I'm actually talking to somebody.
What if I infiltrate
right now.
that group?
You're going to have a hard time,
steal half
Calvin.
of it.
We're gonna do a fringe pop episode, or maybe like an interview series on that topic. So that's really where it fits. But so talks about that are in process. So now you have Mori licking the camera. There's some quality video right there. You know.
Oh my gosh! I got a Mori shake from.
It actually is better than me. You know.
It's so funny because of I put the camera there and it's this is him.
Oh well, of course, yeah.
We should put peanut butter on it, so he'll just lick it.
Yeah. We'll get to the black Israelite thing.
We'll cover the lens with peanut butter, and we'll begin every podcast by him licking the camera clean. I love that.
Yeah, boy, I'm kind of actually sad to see the. I haven't seen Mahoney's Moses controversy thing, and I probably won't. It'd probably just crush my soul a little bit. But I liked Patterns of Evidence, but if the Mosaic authorship thing, I just all the time and effort that could have been put into something more useful. But anyway.
I'm returning the camera.
Okay, let me just give you a clue. This is a sort of a go-to passage for the problem of Mosaic authorship. Judges. Let me see. Let me get the reference right. Judges 1:26. But let me just make sure that's the right verse. Yes. You're going to look at that and you're going to think, has Mike gone insane? What does that have to do with anything? Okay, here's what you do. You do a Bible search for Luz, L-U-Z. And then I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm not going to tell you why Judges 1:26 is something I'm sure the Mahoney video will not address, but there's no way you can get Mosaic authorship, completely in light of that verse. Yes, I know this verse is in the book of Judges. I know the book of Judges is not in the Torah. So you don't have to, come up with that kind of silliness. Yes, of course I know that. But this verse has a direct relationship to this question. I'll let you guys figure it out. Maybe in the next PugCast or whatever, we can talk about it and see if any of you did that and have connected the dots. So, but again, I can guarantee that's not in the new video because it would sort of undermine the video project. But anyway, I digress. Let's see here. Calvin, we got 3 minutes, so don't go too far away. Let's see. Cliff. All right, it's not clear to me. I'm trying to pick up what Sentinel Apologetics is talking about here. Okay, be careful with him. Here, buddy. Yeah, you come here.
He's come
Come here.
to avenge.
I know. They're just treating you like a dog. Okay, you stay here. We'll soon be back in your familiar confines there. Oh, who put the Mori picture as a backdrop? Did you do that?
I did that to conceal what I was doing with the other camera.
Okay. Yeah.
And now his bed's empty.
Oh, let's see
Can
here.
I just sit where his bed should be?
No.
I'm gonna do it.
All right. Let's thank you, Bob. Thanks for listening to the
It's not
podcast.
focusing.
So, Calvin, let's shut her down. We're
All
at
right.
an hour.
1 sec. We gotta do one.
And
thing
we will
first
try
and
not
wind
to
this up.
we will try not to have it so long until the next one.
Get a good action shot of this, Micah.
This is an action shot. See, Maury just doesn't care, He's just Maury's too cool for school.
Mori is the coolest.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
And one thing first. Look at that pug.